Citation and Plagiarism. Although this has been today is the last day of the webinar, and this topic has been chosen as citation and plagiarism. But you have to take care of these two concepts as and when you start with your research until you actually submit your research. Let us find out why citation and plagiarism is so very important in our research activities. My flow of presentation will actually include many concepts, which I had tried to concise it in this 1 hour. First, I will start with citation about when, how, why they're important. And then as I complete citation, I will be slowly gazing into the concepts of impact factors, citation analysis, citation index, H index, and I-10 index, although it will be dealt in very, very short time period, because I just want to have create a bridge between citation and plagiarism. And the end of my presentation will definitely be plagiarism. What are the types of plagiarism, which we do it knowingly or unknowingly, and how can we avoid plagiarism and produce a fantastic quality, a very valuable quality of our research. Before I start with citation, actually, it is very, very important for us to understand the difference between citation, references, and bibliography. Actually speaking, many of us often do not know this fine line of difference between the three. Citing is a very, very common thing. Whenever we note down whatever we quote or we paraphrase, or whenever you use somebody else's idea or we summarize from somebody else, whenever we give value to that person, whenever we give credit to that original source, that becomes citing. Whenever, from wherever we have cited, we create a list at the end of our work that is known as a reference. And a bibliography? Bibliography is of the higher order. In bibliography, you include all those documents which you have read for your thesis or your paper, but you may not have taken any phrases, any idea to include it in your text. So this is a fine line of difference between citing, referencing, and bibliography. So citing is something you give credit to a person whenever you take a quote or some idea. Referencing, you cite it according to, you make a list of it. And bibliography is something which we keep on reading so many things which comes on our way as we are doing our PhD, or maybe you're doing a research project, or maybe you're writing a research paper, but you don't include it in your work. But that you can always pen it down, give credit to the author. That becomes a bibliography. The first question which comes in our mind: why do we need to cite sources? This answer of why do we need to cite sources actually comes from a little formula. Let us put some little formula into our study. That is C square, AO, R square, and IP. If we remember this, it will be crystal clear to us that why really we want to cite sources. First of all, when we cite sources, that means we're giving credit to the person from whom you're taking the knowledge, you're taking the idea, you're taking the phrase. You should always do that. Citation always increases credibility in your work. Citation assists others in their research. When your paper, your thesis is read by somebody else, they can easily go back to the citation or the reference sources and read them for their research. Citation always helps us to go back to our original source material. I always feel citation is just like a roadmap in our research. Citation is a research tool as well. Citation helps us to get recognition and authentication. Everything, you cannot have your own idea in your work. But when we recognize somebody's work, you become much more authentic in nature. Citation help you to trace the intellectual development of the ideas which you are presenting, and definitely, which I will be discussing it later in my presentation. Citation helps to prevent plagiarism. So my participant friends, we remember C squared gives credit and credibility. We remember AO, that means it assists in research. It is an original source material. We also try to remember R squared, which is a research tool and recognition. And definitely, how can we forget IP? Because citation helps us to trace the intellectual development and how to prevent plagiarism. But what are the sources of citation? The sources, you know, when I was talking about literature review, there also I have penned down the sources of literature review. So these are the sources of literature review and sources of citation are almost the same. That is, it can be a book, it can be a journal, newspaper, magazine, conference papers, annual reports, institutional or government publications. It can be electronic sources as well, like websites and several CD collections. There can be so many databases are there, even the thesis, the reports, unpublished work. So from wherever you take your ideas or you quote it, that becomes a source of your citation. Now, what do I need to say? What I do not need to cite? It is very important to understand what we really need to cite and what we really do not need to cite. Friends, if we do not understand the difference between the two, we really cannot understand that how to do citation in a proper manner. It is said that general knowledge, scientific truths, history dates, there is no need to cite. Let us find out how. What do we mean by all these concepts? Take, for example, general knowledge. We all know Dr. Rajendra Prasad was the first president of India. He served India from 1950 to 1962. It is a general knowledge. There is no need to cite that. I become much more precise. Maybe I am a student of history and doing historical research. And there I cite about maybe the attack of the Japanese attack on Pearl Harbor. It happened in 1941. It is there in every history book. Everyone knows that. So there is no need to cite that. So these ideas, we can take it from general knowledge. Some scientific truths, all of us know. We know there is no need to cite them. For example, I go back to my subject and I say that lights which are nearer to the earth actually does not twinkle. So it is a scientific truth. All of you know that. So there is no need to cite that. History dates. There is no need to cite the history dates. They are widely available. Take, for example, I am again a history student and I'm studying about the War of Independence of India, where I talk about maybe Sepoy Mutiny, which happened in 1857. No need to cite that because it is already there. Everyone knows it. Rabindranath Tagore, when was he born? In 1861. There is no need to cite it. We all know he was born in 1861. Our father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi, he was born in 1869. Whenever you're writing all this, there is no need to cite. But there is a big but over here. Whenever you are in doubt, please do cite. Whenever you're jumping from what you need to cite and what you do not need to cite, cite them. Because if you do not cite, you will be the problem. If you cite any unnecessary things, there will be no problem at all. So once I know what I really do not need to cite, at the same time, I should know what I really need to cite. I should cite somebody's opinions, theories which has been put forward by somebody else and I'm using it in my research, statements which has been said by somebody else and I'm using it in my research. Statistics, definitely I need to cite them. Graphs, tables, I definitely need to cite them. As I said before, when I am not sure, when you are not sure what you are citing, it is just like a devil here, you need to cite them. So I think we are clear that why we need to cite, what are the ideas we do not need to cite, and what we actually need to cite. The question arises, very important concept is how to cite. Friends, how to cite has got a very, very relative direct answer. There are two ways by which we cite in our thesis or any document. Number one, in-text citation. As we are writing a document, within the body of our writing, we cite. That is known as a in-text citation. And whatever we are citing there, as I said in my introductory part, that whatever I'm citing in in-text has to be written in the full form in my reference page. So citing has to be done under two layers. One is in-text citation, the other one is a full citation in the reference page. Sources cited in the text must appear in the reference page. Whatever you have done as an in-text citation should be there in the reference page. Conversely, if you think each entry at the reference page must be cited in the text, but whenever you're writing a bibliography, you may not find the source of it in the in-text citation. So whenever I'm writing it in a full citation, what is included generally? Author, very important, the name of the author, book, article title, or a journal title, from wherever you're sourced your citation. Date of publication is very, very important. I'll come to it later on. And the importance of date of publication varies from subject to subject. Page number, volume number if you're dealing with a journal, issue number you're dealing with if you're dealing with a journal again, and definitely if you have taken it from an online source, it is a website as well. So in a full citation, all these informations are available. That is why I said it is a roadmap. When I go back to my reference page and I want to really go back to my original document, I have the full citation written there and I can easily find it. It provides a base. It provides an authenticity for your research, which is very, very important. Now, citation has got different styles. There are a variety of styles of citation, actually. Sometimes when I was doing my PhD or when we discuss it with my research students, we often feel, why different styles? Why research cannot be as simple as just writing down the author, the name, the page number, and you get everything? Why do we have to maintain that style? Friends, you have to remember different disciplines have different values. Take, for example, when you are a science student and you're citing something along with the name or the surname of the author, it is very, very important to mention the date, because science, it changes very often. But at the same time, if you're a literature student, you are dealing with a concept. So here, the concept authentication is much more important. In that case, maybe the year is not very important. You have to put author and the page number. For example, I am doing a research on Wordsworth's poems. So Wordsworth's poems, date does not matter. It is the concept which he has given in different poems really matters. So we can say there are different subjects have different values, different subjects have different looks of their research, and that is why we have to use different styles of citation. So friends, we know what is citation, what is a reference, what is a bibliography. We also know from where to get the citation. We also know that why do we have to cite. We know what we do not have to cite and what we really have to cite, and what informations are there when you're citing the full thing. And now we will be dealing with different citation styles. So what is a citation style? As I'd say, it is a set of rules on how to cite sources in your academic writing. Now, whenever you refer to somebody else's work, citation is important. Remember, all theories, all opinions, all statements, all statistics, all data has to be cited. Source has to be put. If you do not put it, it is plagiarism. Citing style guidelines are published in official handbooks, which changes from time to time. So whenever you decide based on the basis of your subject and with the after conversing with your research guide, a particular type of a citation style, you need to take the guidelines from the official handbooks present. You will find them in the library. If not, the librarian here becomes a great help to you. As I said, the citation style always depends on the academic discipline you are involved in. So we have got different types of citing styles. Here today, because of the paucity of time, I will just be discussing some of the common types of citation styles. All of us have already, the huge participants who are there. Definitely, you must have published one paper or two. If not published, you are just entering into the research world. You must have read some research papers. So you will find this APA concept of citing is very, very common. Actually, the full form of APA is American Psychological Association. The originality is in 1929. Now, originally, APA style was used only for psychological journals. With time, APA style is taken over by social sciences, by education, and also by business. Whenever you're using APA style, we need to use 12 point and Times New Roman. APA style is also called author date based style. That means what? In your in-text citation, whenever you write, you have to write the surname of the author and the date. So that is why it is known as the author date based style. APA style always has in-text as well as a reference list at the end. Let us see into these. In-text citation of APA style, take for example, number one, author's name and year of publication in parenthesis, that is in bracket, separated by a comma. See the example, Jenkins, 2003. Jenkins is the name of the author and 2003 is the year. So, and it is put under in bracket. This is a type of in-text citation, a style of in-text citation in APA style. Sometimes what happens, we need to put the name of the author outside the parenthesis. In that case, we write Jenkins, we don't put any comma. Within parenthesis, we write 2003. My friends, do you see? Citation style is so very important and so very minute. A single comma can actually change your research output value at all if you don't pay attention to the small things. Sometimes what happens, when we are writing literature review, we just don't write, put it everything in bracket. We just write that Jenkins said in 2003. So at that time, we just put his name at the end of the paraphrasing. So there are different ways by which we can do this in-text citation. Whenever we are writing, sometimes in-text citation may be of more than one author. It can be of two authors. In that case, we have to write Smith and Jones, 2014. Remember, you cannot write and. You have to use the abbreviation. Three authors or more than three authors. In that case, we write the name of the first author only in in-text citation. We will write in detail about the three authors in my reference list. So in in-text citation, what do I write? Smith et al. That means there are three authors or more than three authors in 2003. So the 2013. So what is it actually? These things should be like, it is just like a Gita in your hand. It should always be there because it is not possible for us to remember every small details of our citing styles. We have to see them again and again, practice them again and again, and then only our citation styles will be proper. We have this type of citing styles for direct quotations also. Since this video has been uploaded in the YouTube, you can see them later on, because I will not be going into the details of every type of styling. So we have got in APA, we have got different type of styles for books, for ebooks, for article chapter in an edited book, and for ebook chapter, and so on. We also have different styles with journal articles from databases. Here, I'd like to mention, when I speak of databases, sometimes you will see with DOI number and without a DOI number. Now, what is this DOI? DOI is a digital object identifier. That is a permanent identifier number. It helps you to locate your research paper. So some journals give you that DOI and some journals do not give you that DOI. So according to the availability of DOI, your writing style in APA changes. Journal article in print, online newspaper articles, newspaper from print sources, they all are different. In APA style, you write it in a different manner. Lecture presentation also can be quoted. Again, the citation can be written in the following manner. In APA style, you also have to mention the web pages, sometimes a part of the web page or an entire website, even a podcast. Nowadays, a podcast is also a citation thing. So, and sometimes you will find when you are citing, sometimes in a particular book or a particular document, there are no page numbers. There are no name of the authors. The name of the authors are not there, but the document is very, very important for you. There is no date. So how do I cite them? Friends, the APA has made arrangements for signing that as well. Take, for example, I have no page number. I write Basu, 2012. And since the page number is not there, I mention the paragraph number, maybe paragraph 7. Sometimes you will find that there is no author. So what do I write? In the place of Basu, shall I leave it blank? No, you write down the title of the document, the title of the paper, Study of Landslides within inverted commas, full stop 2012. This is the case of no author. Sometimes no dates are there. What do I do? Just write Basu ND. That means there are no dates. So these type of techniques you need to know from the official document which you have from the citation styles. So at the end, as I said, at the end, I should have the reference list. The reference list always appears at the end, and the reference list provides the information needed for a reader so that he can retrieve that source anytime he requires for your thesis or for any other work. Generally, when you write down the reference, you should try to understand that what are the answers are really, what answers you have got from a typical citation, full citation. You must be, whenever you write a full citation, be it any style, you should know who has written this document, when was it written, what is the title, where was it published, and who published it. These 5 concepts, if it is answered in your full citation, that means your writing of citation for a document is right to the core. It is absolutely correct. We have another concept, another style known as MLA style, which is called the Modern Literature Association. It originated in 1985. It is mostly used for humanities and literature. And it is a parenthetical citation where you use it within bracket. It also has in-text. But the main difference is that in APA, you have author and date method, but in MLA, you have author and page method. Bibliography, instead of bibliography, we use the term work cited here, and in-text citation is also there. For example, Wordsworth 263. Why I'm using Wordsworth as an example here? Because it is mostly used for literature. That means Wordsworth in any of his work. What work? I will get it in my reference list. Wordsworth in page 263. Just like APA, MLA has got different styles of writing in books. Whenever the book is by two authors, or it is an article by an edited book, or in an e-book, or you get in a journals also, whenever the journals are by two authors, or you're getting the journal from an online database, or from newspaper article if you want to quote, or a newspaper article not from the database but from the print source. So these are the different styles of writing. A general format for lecture notes also, you have to write in a different way. So, and suppose you are referring to a web page with an author, or a web page without an author, or sometimes you're referring to the entire website. So these are the ways, if you're following the MLS style, you have to write them. So what is the basic difference between APA and MLA style? In APA and MLA, both has in-text citations, but in APA system, we put the date, and in MLA system, we do not put the date. That is why in APA system is so very important for science, and MLA system is so very important for literature. In references, we do not use the word reference for MLA. We use it at work cited. But in APA, we use the term references. In the reference, in APA system, we use the last full name and the initial of the first name. But in MLA system, we use the full name. Capitalization also is very, very different. Even the title page also in APA gives lots of importance to the title page, but MLA does not give so. So these are the basic difference between APA and MLA. We have another style known as Harvard style. Harvard style is very, very close to APA style, and it is mostly carried on in USA, and now in UK and Australia also it is very, very common. It is again author date based. Author date based, which one was that? APA or MLA? It was APA. That is why I said it is very close to APA system. There are in-text citations, there are reference listed, and sometimes there are bibliography also if required. We have Vancouver style. Vancouver style was invented, it was originated in 1978, and it is mostly used for medical sciences. Vancouver style has a style on its own. It uses a numeric system. Take, for example, you're writing a literature review. There you write mayor and you put a superscript of 1, and then you go back to the reference and there you write 1 and write down the full citation. In this case, bibliography can be added. We have a Chicago and a Turabian system. They're two different styles, but they're very, very alike. Just like Harvard system and APA system are very, very alike. We can say a Turabian system is just a derivative of a Chicago system, but it is much more simpler. It was given by University of Chicago Press, and it came into origin in 1906. And Chicago or Turabian system is mainly used in history, geography, sociology, anthropology, social science, political sciences. It also carries on just like APA, author date system. And here there is a full name of the author, page number, and a new system has come, that is end note and a footnote. So we see very, very common styles of citation is MLA, APA, Chicago. Even IEEE is very, very common style for engineering and computer science students. And CAC is mainly for science like biology, physics, chemistry, and geology. Although these are very, very common styles and we use it according to the discipline we are in, there are many, many citations which are less common. Take, for example, ACS. It's a full form is American Chemical Society. It's mainly used in chemistry. Or AIP, American Institute of Physics, as the name implies, it is used in physics. For law, we have American Institute of Legal Writing Directors. For medical, again, we have American Medical Association. For mathematics, we have American Mathematical Society. For political science, American Political Science Association. citation, sociology, linguistic, and so on. So there are numerous styles, I mean to say, but there are some commonly used citation styles and some less commonly used citation styles. Whenever you choose a citing style for your thesis, please do take the help of the latest handbook, which will explain you how to write the different sources and then start your thesis. Now, actually speaking, nowadays, we have reference management tools also. There are softwares. Why talk of softwares? Even Microsoft Word arranges your citation in a different, whenever you mention the style. We also have different management tools like EndNote, Mendeley, RefWorks, Zotero. You just have to create your account and you have to sign in, and they can actually manage your citations very, very well. So there are many students now who are actually taking help of such online tools for storing and organizing their references, because this referencing and citing, I understand, my friends, it is very, very tedious job. You really have to be very, very alert when you cite and you reference. So these online management tools, you can look up to their website and they do wonders actually in managing your references. Friends, this was the a short viewpoint on citation. Although I know that it will take one full day if I actually go to every citation style and explain you under each category of books, edited books, journals, edited journals, how to actually write in that styles. We can do it in future as well. But this was just a small view on citation. Whenever I am doing citation and I'm going towards plagiarism, unless and until we study these small concepts, we actually cannot understand plagiarism very well. Nowadays, it is very important to understand the impact of the journal where you will be where you will be giving your publication for your publication, because now under PhD also you have to go for publications, 2 publications with your guide. Has become almost it has become a necessity. So whenever you're choosing a journal, please, you have to take care of the impact factor. That will tell you the importance of that journal. You also have to know about what is citation analysis and citation indexing. And at the same time, even you as an author should also know what impact your research has on others. And that will be clarified by H index and I-10 index. Now, I would like to mention here this H index and I-10 index has become very, very important in the present scenario. Even for NAC, H index and I-10 index calculation has become a compulsory thing under criteria 3. Not only H index and I-10 index for the author, for the researcher, but for the institute also, H index and I-10 index are important. Let us find out what are these technical terms mean in a short go. Now, impact factor, all of us know about impact factors. It's a very, very common thing. Whenever you go for a journal publication, you ask, what is the impact factor? But what is this impact factor? Impact factor actually gives the average number of citations for an article. The average number of times that article in the journal has been cited by others. Today, the term impact factor is most commonly refers to a particular figure. You will see there will be a particular figure. 1, impact factor 1, impact factor 5.02, impact factor 9.99. What is the meaning of that? Let us find out. And it is mostly published by Thomson Reuters, although the spelling is Reuters, but we pronounce it as Reuters. Now, how do we calculate? Now, every one of us know about the Institute of Science Information. Institute of Science Information actually has top journals, in their databases. These journals are known as source journals. For each source journals, there are reference. Every article has a reference list. The more the journal is referenced by some other, the more will be the impact factor. Complicated, isn't it? Let us find out in a very, very simple way, as if we all are talking to each other and trying to find out the impact factor. Now, generally for impact factor, 2 years data is required. But sometimes for excuse me, but sometimes for a high level journal, we use data for 5 years also. Now here I've taken 2 years. Let us find out how I'm calculating the impact factor. For example, 2007, in the year 2007, for a particular journal, the name of the journal is Advances in Physics. I want to calculate the impact factor. If I do not want to calculate, I want to find out how the impact factor was calculated. As I said, I'm requiring 2 years preceding data. So I will require data of 2006 and 2005. Now, citation of articles published in Advances in Physics in 2005 was 115. That means whatever articles was published in this said journal in 2005, 115 times it was cited by some researcher all over the world. In 2006, for all the articles, citation number was 86. So we find if I add up 115 and 86, it is 201. Now, I will try to find out how many articles were published. This I know how many articles were, how many times it was cited, but I should know the number of articles published. In 2005, the number of articles published in the journal was 12. And in 2006, it was 9. So how many articles were published in 2005 and 2006 total? 21. So what is my impact factor in 2007? 201, which I added up the citation list and divided by 21, which comes to 9.571. So the impact factor in 2007 is 9.571. So friends, every year the impact factor will go on changing. Why? If I want to find out the impact factor of 2008, I will take the data of 2007 and 2006. I want to find out the impact factor of 2019. In that case, I will take the details of 2018 and 2017. But as I said, some high reputed journals also takes care of 5 years data, but the method is the same. I hope I'm clear about the calculation of the impact factor. Another very small thing we all should know is about citation analysis. Now, suppose one of my research paper has been cited by a Mr. X. So in that case, how many citation I'm receiving? 1. But citation analysis tells me in the paper of Mr. X, how many times my research paper is cited. Maybe he has cited my idea, my quotations, by paraphrasing, maybe 10 times. So citation analysis is 10. But in reference, when I'm writing, it is only 1. So what is the citation analysis? It is a study of the impact and assumed quantity of an article, the number of times the author has been cited by others. In short, we can say it examines the frequency of citing documents. So we know about the impact factor. We know about the citation analysis, which focuses on the frequency, number of times your article has been cited by others. Similarly, we have got citation indexing. You know, there are so many concepts of citation which is coming in by. What is this citation indexing? It was introduced by A.G.O. Garfield. He said that whenever you're citing something, your citing should be in such a manner so that you can link from where you have got it. What is the older sources from where you have got it? Take, for example, I take this diagram where Smith 1995, he has come out with a concept. She has come out with a concept. Now, but I'm citing Smith 1995, but If I try to find out the citation indexing, I find that this Smith 1995 concept has been used once in 2002 by someone in some article in 2002 and also in 2003. So I can go back that how many times a particular source has been cited in the past as well. This increases the authenticity of the citation. New concepts. H index, and I know that these are very, very technical, my friends. You must be feeling that it is just, I'm using some jargons, but these concepts you should know when you are a researcher. Now you can easily go back to a library, search the books, and you can have an elaborate reading on these concepts. And if you really know these concepts, I tell you, your way of citation, when you're citing or you're referencing in your thesis, it becomes crystal clear. So what is H index? H index counts the quantity as well as the quality of the author. For example, H index is 17. That means the author has published 17 research papers that has been cited at least 17 times. I will just show you in a minute a calculation which will make it much more clearer. And what is I-10 index? I-10 index is a number of publications which you have, which has been cited at least 10 times, not less than 10 times. Let us find out. Very, very simple. I-index and I-10 is very simple to calculate. For example, I have 12 publications. First publication has been cited 26 times, second 12 times, third 6 times, and so on and so forth. Now, how do I calculate the H index and how do I calculate the I-10 index? First of all, I add one more column to it and I put a rank. 12 articles, I put 12 ranks. Then I rank my publications according to number of citations. If I see the highest citation is 29 and which publication? Publication number 6. So my first rank is cite number 29 and publication number is 6. Which one is the second one? The second one is cited 26 times. Which number publication? Number 1 publication. 26 and number 1. Same way I rank all my 12. Which one is my third rank? See, the third rank is coming to 15. Which number publication? 10. I have written here 10. So I have ranked it one after the other. Now, how do I calculate this H index? H index is that the rank and the number of citation. Rank 1, cited 29 times. Rank 2, 26 times. I go on. Rank 5, 12 times. So rank is smaller, the number of citations is more. Rank 6, 11 times. Rank 7, 11 times. Rank 8 publication, 9 times. But when I'm coming to rank 9, the citation is 7. So which one is smaller? Number of citation is smaller than the number of rank. So my H index is 8. I think I'm clear. My H index is 8. I-10 index, how do I calculate? I see the rank of the publications where it has been cited more than 10 times. 29, 26, 15, 14, 12, 11, 11, 9. No, till 11. So my H index is 7. So my I-10 index is 7. So this H index and I-10 index, I need to rank them one after the other. I need to rank them according to the citation, and easily we can calculate the H index and I-10 index. My dear friends, go back today and try to find out your H index and I-10 index. I have shown you manually, but you can also do it, do it automatically in Google Scholar. I come to the last part of my presentation, that is plagiarism. So friends, I think I'm clear on citation, where, what, when, how we should cite, and we have learned many new concepts, which as a researcher, all of us should know. We really learned new concepts of H indexing and I-10 10 indexing, which is becoming very, very important. Your thesis is over with all citation, reference list, and you're very, very satisfied. But there is a small but, which will be answered perfectly when you give your thesis for plagiarism check, which has become a compulsion in today's age. From whichever university you are doing your PhD, if it is under UGC rule. So what is plagiarism? The word plagiarism is coming from a Latin word, plagiar, that means to kidnap. It is not good to kidnap anyone. And so even kidnapping ideas is not a very good idea at all. We need to stop that. And we can never do that in a thesis, because thesis is something very ethical, very authentic. So we need to maintain that status. So plagiarism, whenever you copy somebody's words, somebody's ideas, somebody's images, and you copy, you take it, it's fine, but you have to give due credit. Remember, in the very first slide, I have told you that how do we have to give credit to the authors? If you do not give credit, it's a wrong thing you're doing in research. And in research, nothing wrong can be done. So when you are not... excuse me, when you're not giving credit to, for which they are due, it is known as plagiarism. Sometimes plagiarism is intentional and sometimes it is unintentional also. But whether it is intentional or unintentional, the conclusion of plagiarism is clear, that you are violating ethical standards, which you cannot do in your research. So I personally feel plagiarism is very non-academic in my academic area. We are all academicians. We're doing our research. We're adding our knowledge. We want our knowledge to spread like wildfire all over the academic world. So how can we be non-academic in that way? So the writers who generally plagiarize, it shows disrespect towards the original authors, towards the original contributors. And moreover, if you do not cite, a research is never completed. It never ends. The same topic can never end. Whenever you do your thesis, you should always say, I open up my research to somebody else. So when you're really opening up research to somebody else, that means you're opening up so that the whole academic world can actually work with your research. So how can you disrespect the original sources? If somebody is really working with your research, or you are doing a postdoc, how will you go back to original sources? It can only be done if you cite them, if you reference them in a proper manner. One thing you should be sure of, that you cannot disregard someone who has helped you to actually complete your work. Now, there are several excuses which we get, that this assignment is very, very boring. So let us copy and finish it off. Just finish off my thesis. I want to finish my thesis in 2 years. No research in this world can be time bound. As I said on the very first day, I repeat on the very last day of this webinar, you really need to fall in love with your research, with your work. Forget all the time. Because it is a once in a lifetime opportunity you're getting to do your research. So enjoy it. Do it ethically. Don't copy somebody else's, and don't, because an idea that whether you will be getting caught or not, that will be scribbling in your mind. Okay, so you sometimes gives many ideas that why have you copied, but no idea stands footfall. If you have to be very, very ethical, as I said, when you do it. So you have to be very, very academic when you do your research, because can you really copy and cheat yourself? First of all, you're cheating yourself. When you're cheating yourself, a quality cannot be produced in your research. And not only that, the consequences if you're caught in plagiarism can be huge. So really it is worth taking that risk? No. You should give credit to the authors. That becomes an authority. If somebody questions you during your open defense that from where did you get your information, you can tell with authority that I have got this from so-and-so citation, so-and-so books, from so-and-so online, and so on. So, and moreover, as I said, such unethical behavior should be stopped instantly when you're doing a research. So what is the simple logic of plagiarism? You can borrow. from your works from somebody else's. But that but is very, very important. You have to give credit. Now, this plagiarism is called it's an intellectual theft. You are stealing somebody's ideas, and it is punishable in nature. It is punishable under Copyright Act of 1957. So we have to be very, very particular. Moreover, plagiarism is accepted by UGC in India up to 10% only. If it exceeds 10%, it is punishable by law. So let us understand what are the common types of plagiarism. There are so many types of plagiarism actually. And that's why I said you do some plagiarism intentionally, some you do it unintentionally. You really don't know that, but you have performed that plagiarism. It can be a text plagiarism, it can be an image plagiarism, even videos can be plagiarized, even audios can be plagiarized, whatever, simple thing, whatever you take from others, cite only certain things like general knowledge, your historical dates, you don't need to cite. Whenever you're in doubt, cite them. Nothing will happen. At least you will be escaped from this ill word of plagiarism. So let us find out in short, what are the different types of plagiarism. Actually speaking, 10 different types of plagiarism are there. The most lower form of plagiarism is clone, where you just copy word to word. You copy it word to word. There is no point of citing anything, and you claim as if it is your own words. For example, in black, I've written the actual, and in white, I've written the plagiarized one. Deers are browsing animals, feeding on fruits, leaves, shoots, and so on. You write the same thing in different color. Deers are browsing animals, feeding on fruits, leaves, shoots, and so on. So what are you doing? You're just cutting and pasting word to word. It is definitely plagiarism. Control and copy. Control and copy is very, so here what you do, word to word, you copy it, but little bit changes here and there. You are satisfied. Yes, little bit alterations I've done. No, my dear participants, you will be caught in your plagiarism testing mechanism. Find and replace. Sometimes you have the same ideas, but only certain, there is a very good concept of find and replace in Microsoft Word. All of us know that. So we just change some words. If we change some words, the matter remains the same. The idea remains the same. Only some key words you're changing. But that is also plagiarism. Remix. You get two sources, you just mix them. And remix songs, we all know about this remix songs, but it is a type of plagiarism. When you take it from multiple sources and fit them all together, whether you paraphrase it or you copy it word to word, it is plagiarism. Recycle them from your work, previous work. You just change some words, or you change the way of writing, and then you put it as if it's a new work without any citation. Remember, friends, you need to cite yourself as well. In review of literature, also I've told you need to cite your work as well. If you do not do it, it is recycled plagiarism. Hybrid plagiarism combines everything, cited everything, but they do not, some sources they cite and some they do not cite. It is a type of clone plagiarism again. Mashup. Several ideas they take from multiple sources and they just combine them one after the other, and they produce a new document and with no source citations at all. This is also a type of plagiarism. 404 error. What is 404 error? It does not exist at all. Sometimes you just take the ideas from somewhere else and cite somebody else's. The name of the book does not exist at all, or the website does not exist at all. It is non-existent. So I call it 404 error. Or an aggregator. Aggregator is that citation, everything is proper, but it does not contain any original work. Retweet includes the proper citation, but it is very close to the original document. You're taking somebody's ideas, that is fine. But when you're taking somebody's ideas, you have to put your ideas also. You just can't do with all the original ideas and cite it. You cannot do that. So these are the 10 main types of plagiarism. Sometimes, whenever you're dealing with plagiarism, some new terms come into our mind. That is, you call it, it is a potluck paper. Sometimes, you do a plagiarism test and it comes, the comment comes as a potluck paper. What is this potluck paper? That means it is, nothing is your own work. It is everything. It is like a clone plagiarism. And the difference is very, very minimal. Photocopy, just copy paste. Self stealer, your own work was there and you're using it somebody else's. The ghost writer. Friends, you should all be careful about this ghost writer. This is the highest form of plagiarism where everything is copied. Nothing is of your own, neither the words nor the ideas, but you claim it as if your own. You are a ghost in somebody else's writing. So it is known as a ghost writer type of plagiarism. I know I was very fast in browsing through different types of plagiarism. Friends, there are various laws relating to plagiarism, which all my friend participants should know. Actually, it is under Copyright Act of 1957 that if any author claims that of acknowledgement or authorship, actually, there can be, it is punishable by law. In fact, under Section 63 of the Act, the court can award some level of punishment for copyright infringement for violation of Section 57. And the imprisonment can be 6 months to 3 years, and it can also be accompanied by a fine of 50,000 or the maximum limit of 2 lakhs. So this we can understand. It has been taken up as an offense. It is not a criminal offense. It is an intellectual offense. So why should we go into all that? We should cite it properly and avoid all types of plagiarism. As I said, there are punishments up to 10%. There is no penalty at all. 10 to 40%, 40 to 60%, more than 60%. There are different levels of punishment. Even your research, you can be expelled from the university, or you may be not be allowed to do your PhD for 2 years. It can be very, very serious at times. So my friends, take plagiarism in a very, very important part of your thesis. So what are the tips actually for preventing plagiarism? Always keep a track of citation. Right from the beginning, when you search, please keep a track. Record the full details of the sources which you are using. Make very good quality notes. Remember the first, as I said, as you read, you write. Just don't copy, you write. You write and you cite. Always try to give credit to others. Remember, when you give credit to others, in no way your credit can be less. Cite the sources you use. Be consistent with your citation styles. Always plan in advance. As I said, 2 years, my research will be completed. No, don't. I know time is a very important factor in anyone's life, but research is also once in a lifetime. So you enjoy your research, plan in advance, and do very little bit every day. I have also shared your Pomodoro technique and how actually you can make your research so very interesting. Always remember to avoid plagiarism. Always remember to provide credit to whatever you have taken. It can be a quotation, it can be an idea, it can be a model, it can be a theory, it can be data, it can be a statement. In any way, we need to stop plagiarism. Sometimes we do it unintentionally as well. For example, we misspell the author's name, or we mistype in a reference list. That's why maybe sometimes I feel instead of a manual reference list, I mentioned to you about the reference tools. Those are also very important. So these are not taken up as a human error, but such errors sometimes, reduces your academic value of that work, because you must not be doing it intentionally, but unintentionally also you are careless. You really cannot be careless with your research work. There are several plagiarism detection tools are available, which can be used to check the plagiarism percentage of your thesis or your paper. Here, I would like to mention about the online tools which are also available. Many a times my students ask me that why to go for the licensed version of plagiarism detection tools? Why can't we do it online? Online plagiarism detection tools does not give you the exact the plagiarism percentage, because they generally omit out the details from the books, from the journals. And for your thesis, at least, we should avoid using online plagiarism tools, and we should go for we should always go for the licensed version, so that your plagiarism percentage, and you have to attach the plagiarism report as well with your thesis. Remember one thing: if you had in this 5 days, whatever has been taught, be original. Whenever you're original, you are academic. Whenever you're academic, your knowledge base is strong. If you're worried all the time of or that you will be accused of plagiarism, you yourself is the best defense for that. Do your own work. Carefully track all the sources, all the notes. Carefully cite, maintain, decide a citing style, and keep the style same right to the end. Most important, acknowledge the contributors, whoever has helped you in your research. Plagiarism is definitely not a crime, but it is definitely an unethical conduct. And when you're unethical, you can never be a researcher. So in my presentation today, I have, although very fast, but I have touched upon the citation, when, how, why, what are the ways, the new concepts which has come, which is impact factor is not a new concept, obviously, but your indexing, but your analysis, but your H index, again, your I-10 index is definitely new concepts which all of us need to know. And I've ended my talk with plagiarism. I wish you all the best for your research. Thank you.